Okay, looks like we are live. If you can hear me, someone send me a text that they can. Let me refresh that. Okay. Boy, it's way behind. Okay. Okay, I hope somebody's out there. If you are, send me a message and we'll see if we can get things rolling here. Okay, can you hear me now? I'm going to wait for just a second and see if anybody else jumps on. Still a little out of kilter. Let me see if that helps a little bit. I heard somebody. Let's see. Okay. Still a little out of kilter. Let me see if that helps a little bit. Okay, I see a couple of people are online. Hey, Jacqueline. I heard somebody. Oops. And hi, Peggy. Hi, Tracy. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start, and we'll let people jump on as they're able to join us. We are going to be taking a walk through the brand new Stampin' Up catalog. And give me a thumbs up, Margot Morrow, if you can hear me. Okay. Looks like people are jumping in. Okay, we are going to take a walk through the brand new catalog that went live on the 3rd of June. And every month I have a host code, so if you order, you can go to Stampin' at the Bird Nest, and it's stampinatthebirdnest.com. And I guess I should introduce myself since some of you might not know who I am, but I'm Laura Lee Collet. I've been with Stampin' Up since 2004, and this is my first Facebook Live, so we'll see how it goes. But anyway, back to my ordering. I have a host code that changes each month, and that's where you can order. And let's take a look at the catalog. In the very front, they show some tools that you're going to want to have so that you can make your cards. And then we move to the index, or the table of contents. We have cards and stamp sets for all occasions: love, thanks, and support, kids and babies, birthday, artistic expressions, and accessories, and more. Now, anything, and I see I'm running a little bit behind here, anything that is new in the catalog will have this little icon, the red with the N in the middle. Throughout the catalog, you may see 10% off. These are products that are bundled together, a stamp set, a punch, a stamp set and dies, different things. And if you buy them together, there's one code number and you can get 10% off. Next, we have a welcome page that's done by Shelley Garner. She's our co-founder and board chair member. She always writes a nice little note and we get to see her family. Then we have the statement of the heart here that for Stampin' Up, to love what we do and share what we love as we help others enjoy creativity, worthwhile accomplishments. In this, we make a difference. And I just got a brand new website and I put on there teaching through stamping. I am a retired kindergarten teacher and I've been using my teaching skills from the beginning when I started with Stampin' Up. On this page, you're going to see the two types of stamps that we offer. We have red rubber cling stamps that all you do is take them out of the rubber casing that it's in, and I'll show you that in a minute. Put a decal on the stamp, and then you put the stamp on one of these clear blocks. The other type we have are photopolymer. They're clear stamps. They let you line up things perfectly so that you can stack, you can put a vase of flowers with stems and with a bunch of flowers on top and make it all line up perfectly. This page right here too also gives you some techniques that can be used with the stamps. We have a one called two-step stamping, and if you can see right here, there is a little helicopter, and there's the little helicopter, and here are the second step would be the little rotary blades. And next we have markering, which I never knew that that's what it was called. I always just called it coloring your stamps with markers, but you're using your Stampin' Right markers to make different colors on the stamp, and then see how they use two different colors there. Next is stamping off. This is where you ink up your stamp, you stamp on your cardstock, and then you can stamp again and even a third time if you want to. And it makes a lighter ink color each time. Sometimes if you see an ink that you're dying to use but it's just too dark, stamp it up, stamp off on a scratch piece of paper, and then stamp it on your card, and it really looks like a different ink. Next, we have pattern building, where you can play with backgrounds and texture. This one's called masking, where they have put a piece of paper or a sticky note over this, stamped the flowers, then removed the whatever was masking that, and then stamped their sentiment right there. Then also, and probably this is the most fun or the funnest technique we have, is the heat embossing, where you use Versamark ink, which is a clear watermark ink. Then you sprinkle the powder over it, and then take your heat tool and heat it up, and it's just like magic. It melts, and it is so pretty. Next, we have our Stampin' Up colors. These are color palettes. We are known for not only our stamps, but for our color coordination. We have ink pads, refills, ink refills, cardstock, ribbon, and embellishments that all are coordinated to make up the things that you see in the cards. We also have dies, I'll talk more about those later, that cut out impressions, and punches. So this one's one my order didn't get here today, and I was hoping it would, so I can't show you that die, but I mean that punch, but it looks like a postage stamp. And then we go into our kits, and we have several kits that are available for you to use. We have, and these are really good for brand new stampers, but also what I consider the avid stampers, the stampers that go the extra step to make theirs a little bit more complicated and fancy. Our subscription kit is called Paper Pumpkin. You can subscribe by the month, every 3 months, 6 months, or a year. It's mailed to your house, and for you to get in on it, you have to order by the 10th of the previous month. So today is the 10th of June, and it was the last day to order Paper Pumpkin for the July subscription box. But the great thing about this is that hopefully we're going to be leaving our homes one day soon. If you know you're going to be out of town, you could suspend your subscription for a month and then pick it back up, or you can cancel at any time. So it's really a good deal to try out. Next are all-inclusive kits like the Simply Citrus. This gives you card bases, envelopes, a little Stampin' Spot, which is a little bitty ink pad, and you get, of course, you get a stamp set, and you can make all of these pretty cards with it. Here's another all-inclusive. So the only thing you need to add there is your, I'm not going to take that one off because I want it. Okay, so now this is called a project kit. These, again, you get your card bases. They're shown here. You get ribbon, envelopes, and then you can order other things to go with it. Or if you have ink and stamps that you could use with this, you don't have to order this. This is just an option. But I have that marked because that's going to be on my next order. Now the Boho Indigo is called a product medley. With this one, you get your stamps, your paper, your die, and your accessories. And then you can also get a refill kit. So if you make up all these cards, send them out, then you can order this. You already have the stamp set and your embellishments. So you can go to town on that. And don't forget that when we make these gorgeous cards, always make an extra so that you can have one to save and one to send. This is called a suite. A suite, and this one is flowers for every occasion. This one, these suites have everything down at the bottom. And if you were to order everything that goes with this stamp set, you would choose just one number, and it would be this price. I didn't want everything. I got the stamp set, and I got the punch, which when you get to be my age, you have to leave notes so that you won't forget. So this is the jar of flowers, and I got the punch that went with it, so it punches out a cute little jar. And I also got the designer series paper, or as in the Stampin' Up world we call it DSP. And I've already used part of this. But now most of our DSP comes in 12 by 12 sheets. This one is called a 6 by 6 paper stack, And you get 4 sheets of each design. And then on the back, it's a different design. So they come with 2 different, 2-sided designs. Isn't that cute? Got the sunflowers. And these are in our in colors, which I'll talk about in just a minute. Ooh, look how pretty. So they're all different flowers. Now there you have just leaves. Oops. And stripes. More flowers. Then we even get into Christmas things. So this is why it's for all seasons. There you have the poinsettias, some more stripes, and I think I've seen all of those. So now one little tip here. The way I store my paper, whether it's 12 by 12 or 6 by 6, I put it in a Ziploc, and I run the page that it's on in the catalog off on the computer, cut that down, put the details here and what year it is. That's mainly for me. But the thing that is so great about this is that it tells you the colors that are used in here. So whenever I'll decide that I want to use a certain paper or certain inks, I'll find things that coordinate together. And all of these, Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight, those are all our new in colors, along with Poppy Parade and Whisper White are used in this DSP. So, you do not have to order everything in the suite. As I told you, I only ordered 3 things, but it gives you a good thing, you know, to see what goes together. And there are 2 stamp sets. So we've seen the jar of flowers. The Celebrate Sunflowers is also here, and it makes just beautiful cards. And it has dies that you're going to use with your Stampin' Cut and emboss machine. There are also, over here you see some shop products. These are some different ideas for embossing folders that you can use. And be sure to take a good look at the pictures because it really gives you some good ideas. Now, anything that I have marked or things that I have, and hopefully that's to keep me from ordering a second time. And they have some stamp sets that are only images, some that are only sentiments, and some that are mixed. So these 2 are carried over. They don't have the N by the name of the set like the Sunflower did. Now here is a specialty stamp, and it's called, this one on the bottom, Butterfly Wishes, is a distinctive stamp. It gives you shades of color when you stamp it, and it makes it more of a 3D image. Over here in Mountain Air, there's another little icon, and it says reversible. So you can stamp the image of the trees and the beach here, and if you flip it over, you just have the outline. Now, these were also carried over, and here's one of the things I wanted to point out. Throughout the catalog, we have what we call Step It Up. You can start out basic, just stamp, ink, paper, then add things to it, cut out the flowers, add punches, add little embellishments to it. And so you can either go simple or you can get more involved and complicated. But that gives you some ideas there. Oh, the flowers are just gorgeous through here. Now, Lovely You, I did get that set recently, and I'm going to show you a card where I used that, but there's the N that shows you it's new. And also on this next page where we have Dress to Impress, a real girly thing, that was in our Occasions catalog this spring. It gives you a color palette. So it gives you some ideas of what was used in this card, what you could use to make the other cards. So these will all coordinate together. And next thing I'm going to show you is called World of Good. This is another suite. Now, I got everything except the Memories and More kit. Memories and More can be used for cards to perk up and accent your scrapbook pages. And this is really a set. I'm really surprised that I got it because it's not me at all. First of all, I like the bright colors, but this gives you more of the neutrals. And let me show you what I ordered. I ordered the stamp set. And you can see that these are our red rubber. And you would take the rubber stamp out of the holder that it's in and put the decal on it. And it's sticky, so it's going to stick to your acrylic blocks. These are the dies that go with it, and I just love them. This is a little base for the globe. There's a little, I did it in brass paper. I'm going to show you that card in 1 second. And here's another little trick that I like to do. I take my chalk and write marker that we sell, and I outline all of my die pieces, because you would be surprised if you're using multiple dies and you lay one down, it can get lost very easily. This is a magnetic sheet from Stampin' Storage, but I know that if I go to put this up and that's missing, then I need to get on the hunt and find it. And let me show you the 2 cards I made with this set. And they're masculine cards, but I think anybody would appreciate it. I could see this for a graduation card. But here's the little stand, and there's the globe, and both sides of the world. And on this one, this was the little stand that I cut out and then placed the world in it, like one of those that you could just spin. And this is the designer series paper on both of these that goes with this suite. So let me show you this because it is just beautiful. Again, you have both sides. Now this is brass, and the blue in color called Misty Moonlight. And it's shimmer, if you can see it. It's shimmery. This one is like a map. There we go with just the blue. And I thought this was so pretty. I think that would make a great scrapbook page. Okay, and I think that takes care of that. So I'll set that aside. And there's one other thing that was real good with this, that came with the, let me make sure it's in here. It's not, but this is one of our embossing folders. It'll do a 6x6 sheet of paper. And when you put it in, these are thick, so you get a real deep embossing on there. And you can use either side. Now, another little tip that I like to do is to mist your paper just barely and slide it in before you run it through your machine. And then it gives you a really deep impression. Now, I would use our tear and tape to put this down because it is rough and it might not stick. Now, we have new adhesive, so maybe, you may can use that too, but that's what I like to use. Okay, now, here is an example of the two-step stamping technique that was at the beginning. And you're going to stamp one stamp. And you can go lightest to darkest. That's what I usually do. And because of the clear, you can stamp right on top of it. Okay, game on. That's a new one. I need to get that for my Pekino group. Now this section, and if you'll look right up here, this is all occasions. So here we've kind of got some more masculine type things. And here's a peek at our, and the baby. Both of them are very portable. They're little shelves slide down and close up for easy transportation. This little mini one would be great to take to a crop. The other one is still small. It can stack on a shelf, and it's not as cumbersome as our Big Shot was. And here's another distinctive stamp. This was a carryover. That makes beautiful cards too. Okay. Now, there's one thing that I wanted to show you that every now and then you're going to see throughout the catalog. But this whiskey business, at the bottom, where you have your name, the catalog number, the price, and then they suggest the clear blocks that you would use. And I'm just grabbing some blocks to show you, but they come in different sizes. And it tells you how many stamps are in the set. And then this has hinge step, and it's available in French. Well, what in the world is hinge step? Well, I'm going to show you what it is. Now, I picked up a carryover set called Heirloom because it had this piece right here. And this is called our Stamparatus. This is for perfect alignment and stamping. And what I did was I started at the bottom. I put my cardstock down, put my stamp on top, closed this, and it's stuck to the acrylic board. Then I inked it up, stamped, moved it down, inked it up again and stamped. I'm going to move this over. I realize it's not in the viewing area. So I'm inking up my stamp. Then I'm going to close it. Okay. Now I'm going to move it down, move the hinges down one, ink, and stamp. So you see how you're getting a perfectly aligned image there? Always, always, always use your magnets to hold your pieces. Now as I get down here and the stamp would hit, just remember to pick them up and move them. Okay, so that's what hinge stamping is. And I did it all in one color, but what's really cool is to clean it off, clean your stamp, and use different colors each time you stamp. Next, moving right along. Okay, here's how the platforms on the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine fold out. Here's a scrapbook page. I'm going to try to go slow, but we do need to move along. So, and I'm not really reading my comments. So if you have something that I do not comment on, you have a question, let me know and I'll get back to you when this is over. But again, here, shop the products. Take a look at all the samples. That'll give you some good ideas. And if you want to see other things that people have made, just go to Google and put in Parcels and Petals, Stampin' Up. It'll give you an unbelievable amount of samples to look at and to go by. Also, Pinterest is good for that. Oh, this is another one that you can see I have marked here. It's called Today's Tiles, and it comes with an embossing thing. Let's see, yeah, it is a bundle, and if you can see, I'll show it in the back of the book, but maybe you can see that a little bit better where you can tell. Okay, excuse me, I had somebody wrote something on my phone. I didn't mean to get that right in your face. Okay. So anyway, they've cut apart some of these, and that makes it a really neat thing to do. You could also do your your hinge stamping with this. And if you see that when you're looking at the stamp set, if you see these in a different color, that means that that's where the dies will match those stamps and cut that image out. Okay, next we have pets. Playful pets, cats and dogs, with some cute, cute designer paper. Some of our paper, you can actually use the dies to cut out the image. So that's kind of cool. And they thought that if you liked dogs and cats, you might also like, we have a dog builder punch and a cat punch, and then there's another stamp set called Way to Goat. Now here's where they had cut apart the tile. Now we're getting, this is all occasion, this is also birthday. We have more birthday coming up. They've packaged this. We have bags and other packaging ideas back in our accessories. Oh, and here's something I wanted to point out. On this page, Framed for You, we have a distinctive button, which talks, will let you do the kind of 3D dimensional thing is what I call it. But it also has a medallion here with $1 million. This means that one of our demonstrators reached the $1 million milestone. And when that happens, they get to go with a stamp designer and design a stamp that'll be in the next catalog. And this one was made by Terry Gaines, and she designed this. So that's really cool. Here's where they showed the embossing again. And another step it up from simple, a little more complicated, to avid. And they really have some cute, cute things that I've gotten away from being so serious and having to, this only be used for children. I like to use it for older children too. There again is your color palette. And this is another one that, ooh, I didn't mark it. Let me mark that. I have to get this. This I have seen some gorgeous cards with. You stamp this, and then you can see where the die cut out the flowers. Now, everything that I have here, I won't get, but it's on my wish list. And the very first thing I do, let me get a sip of water. When I get my new catalog, I get me a glass of wine, I get my sticky notes and my paper to make my list on. I go through crawl up in bed or someplace in a corner where I can be by myself, go through my catalog and just wish away, put a sticky note for everything that I might want to get. Okay. Now, in the holiday catalog, we had, let's see if I can find it right quick. Okay, we had this one, tags, tags, tags. And it came with a die. We also have another one that's brand new that works with the same die. So here you're getting you're getting 13 stamps. I wasn't looking at all of these up here, but all of these are one stamp. And when you stamp it, then you can cut it out. And there you have it. So I thought that was really cool. 3 at a time is better than 1 at a time, isn't it? We have a zoo globe. Oh, there's a kangaroo. How many of you ran off your scavenger hunt PDF? You might want to take note of that one. Okay. We have, ooh, here's another $1 million. Another $1 million icon. Here's some woodsy looking ones getting into Christmas. Here's another globe. Nature's beauty. I think that is so pretty with the wild animals. And it looks like a winter scene. And again, Christmas. Now, let me just point out this too. Be sure to read all this down here because sometimes it'll tell you. This set coordinates with the pine tree punch that's back in the back. So that works with, see how they're different colors here? That punches that out. Now, we have, let me get over here where I can reach it. We have different ways to package things. We have bags. We have they're gusseted cellophane bags. We have a mini paper pumpkin box. If you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, all your supplies come in a real nice reusable box. A little mini pizza box. And this little guy is called the Mini Curvy Keepsake Box. I made these for Christmas last year. And, ooh, that one still has chocolate in it. But it folds out, it's flat, and then all you do is fold it together. You don't have to use any adhesive or anything on that. Now, the Ornate Garden Suite, I probably am going to go back and get the stamp set, but what impressed me the most on this was the frames that were in the die set. Again, you've got gorgeous paper, your colors. So here's the stamp set that goes with it. Mm-hmm. And then you can see some of the dies that are there. I didn't pull that one out to show you. I apologize. Okay, now we're moving right along. We're getting into Valentine's Day and more flowers. If you like to color, if that's your thing, there are so many ways to relax your mind and make beautiful things. Now, this shows you right here the technique we talked about in the very front of the book about making a mask. So you would stamp your image and cut it out so that there it looks like that. Then she added the green leaves. So what she did was put this on top of there. You can either tack it with a little bit of tape or use a sticky note. They make them that are sticky all over, and put that on. Then ink up your green stamps and stamp it, and see on the mask the color's there, but it's not on your finished product. Okay, more Valentines. And this whole set has dies that cut it out. Here's another Step It Up. Stamp ink paper, they added a punch. Okay. All right, Stampin' Off. They inked up the stamp, did it full strength, then stamped it up, inked it up again and stamped it off on a scratch piece of paper and did the lighter top leaves. So that gives you variations in the color. Hey Tracy, I see butterflies for you. She's one of my non-butterfly friends. Can you believe there are people like that out there? Now this is a good one if you have invitations to make. Oh, and this is Penny Garden. Remember we saw the pennies in the beginning? But this is another set, suite. But I have not gotten this yet, but it's definitely on my list. And there's my little sticky to prove it. Free as a Bird came out last year, which I just absolutely love. And my stamp, my website that I am now .comer is stampingatthebirdnest.com. And then I'm going to show you in a minute what they came out with this year, just in time. We haven't gotten there yet, but it'll be there. This is a great one for Thanksgiving or fall. Has the old milk can. And see what they did with that. Oh. Paula, you love this set. I know you're going to get it if you don't already have it. But nothing's better than cookies, coffee, cocktails, chocolate. And then when she did her reveal with the catalog the other day, she read this, and I got to do it, Paul. It says, a day without coffee is like, just kidding. I have no idea. But I could also add chocolate to that. Back on Your Feet. That one's a really cute one. I've got to make my brother-in-law one. He had a hip replacement yesterday. Here's some more animals. And we've moved into the love, thanks, and support section of the catalog. Whale of a Time Suite. Okay. This screams at me because I am all about color. And I did not order that in time to show it to you. But I can tell I'm going to love it with all of the beach things. You've got the whale and the seahorses. And there's a whale punch that goes with this. And it's right there. Whale builder is what they call it. And I think that is going to be so cute. A grandkid. I'll have to make some of those for my grand darlings, as I call them. More animals. There's that cute little helicopter with the blades. Now I've seen them use the hinge method with sentiments, not just image stamps, where you could do a card and do thanks so much and repeat it over and over down the side of the card. That'd be really cute. Okay, patterns. Again, lots of colors with this. Now, a lot of these stamps, when you see them like this, these can be used like for background. You can do tone on tone, which means you're going to ink up your stamp in the same color as the cardstock you're using, like they did here. And it just gives some background so that it's just not completely plain. Oh, here's the Way to Goat. And Joe Burrow, LSU's, I started to say Golden Globe, what is he? The Heisman Trophy winner. You're the GOAT, greatest of all time. My cousin had a hat on, and I didn't know what GOAT meant, so now I know. Greatest of all time. Okay, this has a lot of family members. Senior years. I know a lot of people that are going to be getting those cards. Forever Greenery. Another sweet. Now this suite comes with something different. It comes with some gold rings that look like they're about maybe 2.5, 3 inches. And they're gold hoops. They've used them there instead of using like some of the little fine wire or thread that we have. They made a dream catcher here. They made a wreath. So that's something new in our embellishments that looks cute. Okay, here's another roll with it, showing you how you can use a sponge brayer to put your color on your cardstock. We're down into the artistic expressions section, and these are truly beautiful. Now, up at the top, they show the blends, and when we get back over to our colors, I'm going to show you where they're located. We usually have a page, but this year they didn't do that, so I'm going to show you where they are. Blends are they have a small end and a large end, and I don't have one up here on my table to show you, but it comes in a light and a dark, and they are alcohol based. So you can do your blending coloring with those. Oh look, here's another little bag that they decorated. Okay, right here is a list of all the distinctive stamps. So if you are interested in that particular type of stamp, it just means that the depth of when they cut out the stamps, it is higher and lower in spots to give you that 3D image. Like, see here how that looks. So anyway, you can take a look at all of those. Here's some more Shop the Product. Field of Flowers, there's your 10%. Comes with the dies and the stamp set. Piece by piece. As I was saying, you could repeat the pattern. I already showed you about the punch there. Okay. Now, here is I know that Stampin' Up! Made this just for me. Look at the adorable card I made. Now, I wanted to use the end colors, but I had not gotten the cardstock, which Paula was kind enough to loan me so that I could show you. Misty Moonlight, Magenta Madness, Jade, just Jade, Cinnamon Crisp, or Cider, Cinnamon Cider. I'm going to get these, and Bumblebee. So those are our end colors. Well, the only thing that I had was the end color designer, and I had the ribbon. So I use that. And we have a paper stack for both of the end colors that you can see. And then on the back you have a different design. Remember, these are two-sided. I love this little writing. So, I added a little pop of color to it, and I just think that's adorable. But like I said, I know they made this one just for me, for Stampin' at the Bird Nest. This is a two-step stamping, or a three-step. They use 3 different color ink and different stamps to give the different shades of the yellow flower there. In good taste. I have not ordered this. This would never have appealed to me had I not seen on Paula's walkthrough. This designer series paper is all done with, let me see, it's called Tasteful Textile. It has paper that looks like brick, wood, tiles that you would put on in your kitchen, and all sorts of things. And they are so real that when you look at them, they look like you ought to be able to feel them. Okay, this is what to do when you have scraps left over. And I try to save scraps that are no smaller than an inch. The girls had to do an intervention on me one year and get me to throw out some stuff because I was saving everything. But they glued everything down and then trimmed to make this cute little background. Tags. The possibilities are just unbelievable in what you can do with our products. Oh boy, here's another one all full of color called Artistry Blooms. And this is called Perfect Plaid. It's a best plaid builder die that you can actually make plaid designs with it. So I'm going to be getting that one. Let me mark it because, well, I'll put it up here because I've got to have that. Isn't that cute? Look how they've done those. Okay, moving right along. Oh, there's that cute little hedgehog, the duck. My brother-in-law that's the hunter would appreciate that one. Sometimes it's hard to find things for men, and I think they've got a good sprinkling here of things that would work. Okay, now we have some background stamps. We used to sell, and when Stampin' Up! Products first came out, their red rubber stamps were mounted on wood blocks. Well, these are the only ones that have wood. You can also get it without in a clear stamp, like the one that I showed you a while ago. That was just the red rubber, and you just put it on a clear block. But these can actually stay on the wood block. And they've quit doing it just, I think, for a storage thing. They're twice as thick as the smaller little boxes we have. Here's alphabets, good for monogramming, also for scrapbooking. Okay, then we get over to, this is an acronym they came up with, SIP, that stands for Stamps, Ink, and Paper. What could be simpler? But this gives a list of all the, and the page number for all of our designer papers, ribbons, trims, coloring, and cardstock. So here are our, let me take all my all my notes off. Okay, when The colors in Stampin' Up! Are broken up into collections. You have the Brights collection, which I consider like primary colors. Your neutrals, regals are the gem colors, and then the subtles, more of a pastel. Your neutrals are in the basics. And then we have the In Color collection. Now, In Colors, if you'll look right up at the top, they are in for 2 years. So these are the brand new ones, 2020 to 2022, the Just Jade, Misty Moonlight that I just showed you. Last year we had this set come out. It's a set of 5, and they will, this will be the last year. They will rotate out and we'll have another 5 next year that'll be good for 2 years, and this one will have 1 more year. So that's how they rotate. But let me go back up and show you that on the, you have all your, in this collection, you have all the colors listed. Then you have 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You have the classic ink pad, which is what I showed you, the ink refill, and then this is where the Stampin' Blends combo packs are listed. They come in, like I said, a set of 2, a light and a dark, and not every single color has blends, but most of them do. Over here we have more coloring collections. We have assortments in the collections of 12 by 12, so if you're a scrapbooker, that's where you need to go. There's also a classic Stampin' bundle that comes 10 pads that are the standard size. And the way that you open these is just like a compact. You open it, slide it back, and then snap it closed. So we have pencils, markers. There are our re-inkers. We also have storage. Great way to get organized. Here's the Versamark pad I talked to you about when you were when we were talking about heat embossing. Here's the heat tool. And let me see, all of these were carried over. We come down here, and we used to have aqua painters. Now they're called water painters, and they're for use on our shimmery white cardstock and our watercolor paper. We also, Teresa, I think you're on. I see you right there. Look, that you were asking about the Stampin' Spots. Here is a little set that has 8. Or you can get the uninked Stampin' Spots and re-inkers and make little ones to use. And here are our designer papers. And all of these things I've already talked about. And every year the designer papers change. So all of those have an N by them for new. Now here are our tools. We came out with a new paper cutter last year, and you've got to have a good paper cutter to do this craft. Also, this is called our Simply Scored for making your creases in your card. So that you can do that. And I use that every time I make cards. And here are some of our packaging ideas I talked to you about. We have envelopes, doilies that are vellum and square, but you could also cut those. Rainbow glimmer paper. I'm kind of have a reputation for a little bling on my cards. And here we get into the Memories and More, where you can, they have a variety pack of pocket pages along with the album, and you can slide those in with pictures or just decorate it, like they've done on here. Oops. Okay, then we get into embellishments. We've got pearls, rhinestones, red rhinestones, different colored jewels, rhinestone jewels. And you have to have a little bling. Now, whoever has their name in the drawing, if I can find the little, what did I do with that? Oh, here they are. This is one of our prizes. These are the antique corners and slides. They're right here on page 157. You can see that there's a little slide. You can put ribbon through there. Little photo corners. And I just think those are so cute. So we're going to have your name in the hat. If you filled out and sent me a picture of the scavenger hunt sheet, if you like my Facebook page, you get your name in the hat again. You get your name in the hat if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also going to my Stamping at the Bird Nest site. So you're going to have to let me know about that, though, because there's no way that I know. So we're going on the honor system here. Here's some just basic tools that are great. You need to have a thingy to, can't think what this is called. Well, let me see, it's right here. A bone folder, okay. And your paper snips. Also, this is called Take Your Pick tool. And it's great. It does a lot of different things. Okay, now we're into the ribbons. And I did get 2 of the combination packs. I got Flowers for Every Season, and that's what, the gingham is what I used on this card. So you have the gingham, the Misty Moonlight and Silver. Can you see that? White. And it's like linen, I guess. But I really like that. Then I also got the suede ribbon right here. And, here are the other 2 that I got. They got pushed aside. Okay, well, I have the gold one right here, and then there's a little linen white that is, it's an open weave, it's real pretty. Okay. Here are our 2 brand new adhesives. There's one called Stampin' Seal. Then the other one that is a little bit stronger is called Stampin' Seal Plus. You need 1 holder, and then you buy extra refills. And the price has gone up on those a little bit, but you do get more than you got with the snail adhesive that we used to use. We've also added adhesive sheets. And this, if you've been with Stampin' Up a long time, some of the cling stamps didn't have the sticky decal like we have now. And you can peel these off and put them on your block and then put your stamp on, and it will not fall off. stamp cleaners, your blocks, the Stamparatus, which I showed you with the hinge method. And this is wonderful because if I had a stamp that I wanted to stamp on here, a different stamp, I could mount it on this side and just turn my plate around so that I have another surface. And guess what? There's a second plate. You can do the same thing. So you can do things really quickly with this. And when you store it, you can keep one in the hinge and lay your other plate on top, like so. Okay, now, oh boy, now we get into punches. These are my favorites. You see how many I marked? We've got tag toppers, labels where you would stamp your sentiment, then put your cardstock in the punch and punch it. Here are our builder punches. Now, this is something brand new to this catalog. I've got punch bundles. So remember I showed you the Jar of Flowers stamp set with the punch. So, I don't know where, oh, here it is. So that's how big, it's the actual size. So all of these are bundled, and because they're bundled, they're 10% off. Now we have a brand new Stamp Up punch that punches out two different tag toppers, I guess you would call it, or you could, you know, do a sentiment and then put it in. And what I like to do is to flip it over so that you are seeing that it's centered, and then when you punch it, so this shows you one design, and I labeled mine so that I would know that the strips need to be 1 inch, 3/4 inch, or 1/2 inch to fit in there. And I actually cut them just a wee bit smaller than what's shown here, just so they'll slide in. The other, this one, oops, this was the one I just showed. This one that's a little fancier looks like that. So I think that's gonna be great for spicing up. That way you can make your sentiment as long as you want and then punch both ends. Okay, now, this is our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This replaced the Big Shot. This is our design. It comes in, like I said, the larger size, or the mama, and then the baby. Now, the big machine does all of the dies and embossing folders. The smaller one only does the smaller things, and I'm going to show you that in a second. And another thing that I'm real impressed with, these have not come in yet, thanks to COVID-19. They should be in hopefully very soon. And I know you're going to want both of them. I just cannot wait. Like I said, the little one would be so easy to take with you, but so would the big one. Now, they come with plates. The plates are numbered. The first ones have, so this is for the larger machine, this is for the smaller. They're all numbered. They have the sandwich that you make with your plates, the directions, and then all the plates are numbered. Now, if it is the mini cut and emboss machine, it's going to have this little icon that says mini, if you can see that. But again, here we have bundles, 10% off. But now this one is not marked with the mini, so it'll only go through the larger. The ones that are mini can work with both machines. Okay, there's that plaid builder. Oh, now look how they did. They colored the world different colors there. That looks cute. Okay, so here are all of our die bundles. Again, if it's new, it's got the N with the little red circle there. These, some of these are carried over, some of them I think might be new. But again, there you see the ones that work with the little mini one. And these are not part of a bundle. These are just individual. So you've got some with words. And if you cut it out using that adhesive paper that I showed you back here, it'll pop it up. I'm not sure where it is. Well, anyway, it's the whole sheet of like a dimensional. It's sticky on both sides, and it'll cut out all at the same time. Now, these are our embossing folders, which I've already shown you. They have 1, 2, 3 that work with the mini machine, or the baby as I call it, and the rest will work in the big one. Okay, now we're getting into, if you want to host a party, and I had someone book with me today to do one, I can come over to your house, show you the products, we'll do a make and take, and then when you go to make your order, if your order is over $250, you get $25 additional Stampin' rewards. The rewards start at $150 and you get 10% of whatever your total is. But once you hit the $250 mark, just for the month of June, you'll get $25 additional dollars. These are hostess sets. They're only available to the hostess, and they're sold at a reduced price, so some of your rewards can go towards that. Now, this is the best part. Stampin' Up! Is the most wonderful company I've ever had the pleasure of working for or knowing anything about. You meet wonderful people, make wonderful friends. You can, if you're looking at the catalog and your order is around $100, you can join Stampin' Up! For $99, you get to pick out $125 worth of products. That's a pretty sweet deal, isn't it? Not only that, you get to buy at a discount. You can become a demonstrator and start your own business, or you can just do what just about everybody I know started out doing. We were hobbyists. We had no intention of getting in and doing it as a business. We just wanted the rewards and the discount. So anyway, if you were interested in this, contact me and we can talk more in depth about it. But again, we're running a special. So the kit, the starter kit is $99. You get to pick out your things that you want, up to $125. And then you get to pick a bundle for any bundle in the catalog for free. So then you have, over here we have our index of stamps, and I love the way they did this. It's so easy to find things. And be sure to mark what you've bought so that you don't order it again like all of us have done. Back here you have your accessories index. And that about wraps things up. Just remember, if you need ideas, go to your catalog and look. Go to Pinterest, Google, or come to your demonstrator and we'll help you out. But thank you so much for joining me in the catalog walk. If you have an order that you'd like to put in, here is the hostess code. You can go to stampinatthebirdnest.com for information. If you do not have a catalog, you can look at it online there. If you want a catalog, contact me and I will make sure that you get one. And y'all have a great evening, and thanks again. I think this went very well, and my first Facebook experience didn't go as smoothly, so I'm thrilled at all of this, and thanks for joining me. I hope to see and hear from all of you soon. Love you. Bye.